Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Guardian, and this is Metroid Prime 2 Echoes on the Gamecube. Here's the Gamecube shiny cube with its holographic shader. We're waiting for the disc to boot here. Here it is. The torturous front end of the Gamecube is not that bad, it's just you have to press the button loads of times if you don't turn the console on with the disc in. Anyway, we've got a health and safety warning here, and we have the Nintendo logo and the Retro Studios logo, who are the developers of the Metroid Prime series. Ooh, ominous music. So we have some sort of intro here featuring what I'm suggesting is a Metroid. I don't know that for certain though. It looks a bit like a Metroid. Metroid seen through the eyes of a bee, although this has legs, so maybe it's one of those evil bad guys that you fight in the game, don't know. Anyway, we've got the usual sort of sci-fi beepy music, which is groovy. I do have a save game here, so this is being played on the actual GameCube. I'm capturing it through the old FrameMeister. That's why we got a blue screen a little while back, as the FrameMeister resynced the signal. Single player. Great tempo, 34%. Tempo grounds 14%. So I've tried to play this game a few times, and to be fair, 34% is where I got stuck, I think. So I haven't played this game for many years, so excuse me wandering around aimlessly. We're going to take a look at the visuals, get a sense of the gameplay, and I'm going to tell you why it's not as good as Metroid Prime 1. I'll roll through that little one there. So in common with the first Metroid Prime, we've got detailed graphics that use exclusively grey hues and tiling textures on a lot of surfaces, which is mixed with, well, for the GameCube, high geometric detail, so everything is kind of modelled. So it's lots of geometry, textured with lots of repeaty textures, like I said. Now you can scan all this shit with some sort of visor thing, but I'd forgotten about that when I first booted this up. So yeah, I'm not playing this live and talking, I'm watching my video back. Just rolled on that dead man's head. That's no good. This is a lift to another world. Beautiful. Little cutscene. Oh, look at the lighting. GameCube excelling again in the visuals. So this feels the same as the original, like in terms of controls. It's kind of controls quite nicely. You hold the shoulder button in to lock your character in position, and then you can kind of aim your shot. You can kind of walk and shoot like this. It's more difficult to aim that way. You do have lock on. If you press the other shoulder button, you can kind of lock onto enemies. There's one. When they get a circle around them, means you can lock onto them. Oh, he's spitting in my face. He's spitting blue right down my gizzard. That's no good, is it? So as you can see, yeah, it's quite a lot of tiling grey textures. It's not visually that interesting, is it? When I say it's high poly as well, the geometry in the tunnel sections is pretty nice, like, because it's so enclosed. But in these outdoor areas here, some of this landscape's a bit janky. Like there's just polygonal shapes everywhere in the background, which, you know, they could have, well, probably not bothered with, to be fair. You wouldn't have noticed. But the areas like this, which have multiple exits and some winding little roads in them for your little Metroid ball, quite interesting. And they have a lot of, because they have a lot of routes in them, I guess that's where they used all their geometry. Here's one of the routes. Oh, lovely. Lovely. On rails. Gets you to where you want to be, which is by this door with the lungs outside of it. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Oh, he's jumped back to the mill again. So, Metroid Prime 2 controls as nicely as the original. You can change your guns on the old C stick, which is handy. You've got a purple gun which lets you go into this alternate dimension of the Dark World. There's like a light world and a dark world in this game, and that's where I got stuck. So I don't know what I'm doing now, but I do remember back in the day I found the maps so confusing because you had to keep switching between the light and dark areas. I just couldn't get past 34%. I can't remember the exact issue, but I just could not find the next area to get into. So as you can see, the Dark World version of the same arena, so the artists had to do twice as much work on this game, and I'm sure they were happy about that. So you've basically got the flip side of the whole game, so they've made the whole game twice, which is impressive, I guess. Oh, some lovely screen effects. Metroid Prime always had nice screen effects. And yeah, so the first, Metroid games have always been like, you'd always get areas which you need to solve environmental puzzles to move on, and I would normally stick with the Metroid games. Oh, is a Metroid, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. I always stick with Metroid games because, I like them, but this one I just ran out of patience with. And I think it's generally accepted that this second Metroid game is not as good as the first. And the third one, it being a Wii game, I didn't play... I've got it, but I've never really played it. I think Metroid Prime 2, this one here, kind of... it made my interest wane in the series, to be fair. It's... I just didn't enjoy it. I absolutely loved the first Metroid Prime. This one, it annoyed the hell out of me. It wasted my time. But you've got these lovely locations, look. Ah, beautiful. We're in the red dot room where they keep all the red dots. Ah, I hope there's a blue dot room for blue dots. Got the old 3D map. Ah, lovely. There's a dude somewhere around here somewhere that you can talk to. Insectoid. Sort of bipedal insectoid man with, I guess he's got some sort of knowledge. You can see lots of modelled detail. It's quite a quite cool way to come at the problem. Lots of games would try and texture things to within an inch of their lives. They went geometric on the old Metroid. Here he is, his Insect Man. He's doffing his cap to me because he knows who's in charge. That's right. I'm in charge. I don't care if you're 20 feet tall. You answer to me, young man. Let's have a look around here. We've got some hexagons, wall hexagons. Keep all your hexagons on the walls. It's typically sci-fi. There's a lot of nonsense, lots of nonsense things in this. We've got a sci-fi sphere. Let's have a look around. Yep. Here he is, his old 20-foot tall man. Let's have a look at his ass. Yeah, it's all in order, isn't it? How does he poop? Don't know. Maybe he's one of those ones that vomits up like owls. Vomits up a pellet. We've got some edits here because there's a lot of aimless wandering around. I still couldn't, after all these years, imagine that I couldn't find where I was supposed to go because I can't remember anything about this game. So I've had to edit this video to give you some interesting environments to look at. So there's these sections here where you're in the ball and you have to use your bombs. That's all cool. So all the Metroid Prime sources in here. It's just got annoying exploration, that's what I would say, because it's split over two versions of the same world. The Dark World, when you first go into it, is annoying because you die fairly quickly because you haven't got lots of energy power-ups. I seem to remember that going in the Dark World drains your energy unless you're in the light bubbles, and when you've only got like 1 or 2 bars of energy, it just kind of killed you quite hard. So there's a difficulty spike right at the beginning of the game, which also does it no favours. I've discovered that I've got a scanner here, so I'm scanning all these posts with the red blobs in them, and yeah, that's all fine. Here's my spaceship. Oh, lovely. I can go in my spaceship. Nice little cutscene. So yeah, gameplay not quite as good as the first Metroid Prime. Graphically, not as impressive as the first Metroid Prime. Though this looks pretty decent by GameCube standards. My initial impression was it did take a bit of a graphical hit between the first and the second one. The first one seemed a bit nicer somehow. I think the geometry had more effort put into it, and the textures were slightly better on the first one. Got some colour here though, got some red stalky things and a pile of spiked vomit, which is always interesting. Anyway, if you wanted to buy this game on the GameCube, and I've got the PAL version here, it only runs at 60Hz, there's no 50Hz mode for this game, and it's in the 20 quid bracket, so looking online you can get it for sort of between 22 and 30 quid. That's like most GameCube games held its value, I suppose, which is a good thing, but if you're in the market for buying a GameCube game, don't expect any bargains for Nintendo first or third, second party stuff, because it's all expensive. I'll put up some crates here. Yeah, take that, you stupid box. Got some zombie men here. This is near the. I remember this is near the beginning of the game. I think I'm going back to the beginning of the game. Very odd. Yeah, zombie spacemen. Yeah, so it's about 30 quid. If you're the sort of person that's gonna play this game, get past some difficulty spikes, because there are a few. Even the 30% of the game that I've played, there's a few times I almost quit. If you can handle that and juggle puzzles across dimensions, then be my guest, because it is more Metroid Prime. But what I will say is, the first one's a better bet, and it's cheaper. The first game I absolutely loved. This game, like I said, I only got 34%, so make of that what you will. I finished the first game several times back in the day. I loved it that much. This one, not so much. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Controls nicely, looks alright, sounds good. It's more Metroid Prime. It's just a very frustrating version of Metroid Prime. So there you go. I'm going to shoot some bugs. I do like these doors, where you shoot the doors and they kind of like open with their triangular iris effect. Beautiful. I keep all my computer monitors in a random cave. Just half tree, half cave. Science fiction in it, don't need to make sense. Oh, going to a red area here. It's misty. Oof. Again, visor effects. Very cool. Oh no, we've got a yellow area. Oh, it doesn't get any better than this. We've got blue, red and yellow areas. I think it's helped to help waypointing, to help you memorise the maps. It didn't really work. Yeah, the locations don't seem as memorable as the first game. Never mind. They tried. I'll have to give Metroid 3 a proper run out at some point. What I do remember about that game is there was lots of talking with other space characters. Yeah. And I've got Metroid Other M as well, but I've never been bothered to boot it up because everybody's so negative about it. I'll have to give that some proper time as well. Playing this game now hasn't made me want to go back and try and finish it. It's made me remember how frustrating it is just going into that dark world. and having those busy beasts just appear out of nowhere shooting me, and my energy depleting just for existing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can't. I don't know if I think I recommend it if you can put up with, like I say, multi-dimensional puzzles, slightly dour graphics. But I don't think I'll be playing it again. It's not a bad game. It's just not for me. And with that, I bid thee farewell.